All right. Shoot. Jen is asking, hey, Oliver, can you address the following question? I have a few micro strategy options calls. We did that options play as well. Very nice. Down below 400 in the $300 range. It's a very, very nice play by us. I bought, Jen says, I bought way back in Q4 of 2020. That's nice. They've done incredibly well, but I can't find a good time to transfer the funds to stack. Do I need to just bite the bullet and miss out on potential gains? Well, let me just put it this way. I can't give you financial advice, Jen, you know that, but I will tell you this way. I want to give you, I think the benefit for you might be the mindset I'm going to share with you. For the first time ever, we have something that delivers certainty, and that is Bitcoin. We've never had something that delivers certainty. We've always had to trust or believe. Do you understand? We've always had to trust in something. Whenever trust is required, it's imperfect because you don't have to trust, Jen, that your name is Jen, do you? Well, I trust that it is. I think it is. I believe my name is Jen. No, you know your name is Jen. You don't have to trust that that today is Monday, do you? No, you know today is Monday. You don't have to trust or believe that 1 + 1 = 2. You know that 1 + 1 = 2. Whenever trust is required or you're required to believe something, then it's an imperfect thing. Bitcoin is perfect. Its monetary policy is laid out all the way to 2140. It has never failed over the past 15 years. It never will. It can't be hacked. It's never been down once for a single second over the past 10 plus years. All right. It's never broken its promise ever in the last 15 years. It's done everything that it has said. We have a certainty in something that we've never had before. And so I tell you this, I tell you all of this to answer your question this way. You can never be wrong moving to Bitcoin. Never. So that's my answer to you. If you cash out of you're up enormously in your options. If you were to cash out today and just move that shit to Bitcoin, how can that be wrong? It can't be. You can't be wrong moving to certainty. So do it whenever you like. You can't be wrong. Don't take this as a timing thing. That's viewing Bitcoin incorrectly. Bitcoin is your safety. Move to safety whenever you want because what you're in now is not as safe as Bitcoin. You've won with it. Congratulations, but it's not as safe as Bitcoin. It's a leverage play on Bitcoin. It's useful. I use it. My traders and I use it. We've done the options plays on MicroStrategy as well and done extraordinarily well. We've used the miners. These are things on top of Bitcoin that are useful for trading. I don't trade Bitcoin. I trade these things for more Bitcoin. So do it whenever you like, Jen. You can't be wrong. Don't get hung up on the timing here. That's my answer to you. John Power, Bitcoin evangelism. That is right. That is right. Absolutely. Mike says, can you do us live spaces on every 100,000 increase beyond 100,000? That's actually not a bad idea, Mike. I like that idea. I like that idea. Coming back after every 100,000 increase after 100,000. But guys, listen, my word is my bond. I do want to let you know that I'm out at 100,000. This is not sustainable, what I do here. I try to answer every post. I try to like every single thing. It's just not sustainable for me. But I've decided to do it because I thought it was so extraordinarily important. And you know what's I am proud of what I've done with Bitcoin. I am since March 12th of 2020. I'm very proud of that. And I'm positioned very nicely. But I will tell you this, that I'm actually more proud of the fact that I helped over 2,000 people. And I'm not talking about you people here. I'm talking about private members of my Bitcoin club, my Bitcoin Master Club, right? I've helped close to 2,500 people, a little over 2,000 people, hold on, not lose faith, and continue to stack during the 2022 drawdown. I kept pounding the table, telling them that this is where the generational wealth comes from. It doesn't come from the move up, it comes from the move down. I kept them in, I kept them focused, I kept them pounding the table. And today, there's not a single day that goes by that I don't get messages that tell me how much their life has changed. And so I'm more proud of that, keeping people in the game, keeping their eye on the ball, making them understand that it is not the US dollar's opinion of Bitcoin that is the value. It is Bitcoin itself. Don't let go. Don't let go. In fact, this is our opportunity for more. Now, the sad thing about that is that I had as many as 9,000 people. It was only the 2,000 plus that stayed and did it. And they now make all of those who left when the time got a little rough, they're the ones dejected, disappointed, and depressed today. I don't want that to be you. I don't want that to be you. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Anything else? You guys don't really ask a lot of questions. I think you're intimidated by me. That's what it is. That's okay. Oliver's a scary guy. He's scary. It's funny, man. I've kind of always been regarded as a scary guy. And the reason for that is because I don't answer to anyone. I've never answered to anyone. Never. For most of my adult life, I've always worked for myself. I've never relied on another human being, another man, another organization, another group. And there's something that most people regard as a little dangerous about someone who doesn't need anybody, someone that doesn't need a favor or need money from someone else or need help. That person in society today is regarded as a little dangerous. You know, this slave is a little less of a slave than we are. What's up about him? Oliver, you're dangerous. You're dangerous, Oliver. All right. Close my main account. I like that name, by the way. Uh, that's not me saying that. That's the name of someone. Close my main account. Saying, Oliver, can you talk about your process for preparing these talks? How do you go about it? How much do you plan? Dude, I do it like on the fly. I don't plan a single thing. Like Mike asked me this question, and I just said, you know what? I answered it, and I said, this is a great talk. Let me just pull up the mic. Pull up the mic, and I scheduled it right at the moment. Now, was there any preparation for it? Zero. I don't need to prepare for what I know, guys. But at the same time, I will tell you this. I have been speaking publicly on the topic of financial freedom for over 30 years. Every single year for the last 3 decades, I have traveled the world giving talks on financial freedom. I am still today one of the most sought after financial market players on the topic of trading markets for a living. Corporations, companies, institutions invite me every single year to come to their organizations and speak to their traders, speak to their money managers or whatever. I do this every single year. And I've done this for the last 30 years. So it's just part of me now. I can grab a mic and I can talk your freaking ear off. But you know what's funny about this is that um what's funny about this is that, for some reason, because I've, managed to reach a certain level of sophistication as far as financial markets are concerned, they there's this propensity for people to assume that I'm an expert on everything else. And I'm quick to tell you that I don't know anything else. I know trading, I know financial markets. That's it. But I know absolutely nothing else. I have done nothing else with my entire life, ever. I was my parents wanted me to be a professional pianist all my childhood life. So from the age of 3 to the age of 16, I was dedicated to piano playing. My parents demanded it. I had some, I had natural talent for it. And I was on my way to being a professional pianist. That was my life. That was everything that I was immersed in. But at the age of 15, 16, I discovered the market. And much to the chagrin of my parents, that became more important to me than playing the piano. So I tell my mother to this very day, all right, my mother to this very day, I'm 58 years old. When I speak to her, every now and then she'll blurt out, "So, Oliver, um, when are you going to go back to playing the piano?" I always tell her, I said, "Mom, listen, I I play a keyboard of a different nature today. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom. Sorry." But my point is that I do I do no preparation for these talks whatsoever. It's all impromptu, guys. And I found that if I do prepare, it's stilted. It's it's just not me. I'm more natural off the cuff. Now I might, if it's something very serious, I might take some bullet points, like, okay, I want to talk about this, that, boom, and that's it. A few bullet points just to keep myself organized, because sometimes I just go off on these rants and don't really get all the points across that I want to get across. But that's more just to stay in order. All right. All right. Is that it? That's all you guys got for me? Let me see. Let me check here. Huddle Jamaica saying, Oliver, I am one of them. I am one of them. Oh yes, so one Huddle Jamaica saying he's one of the 2,000 plus that was with me throughout the last few years. He says, I'm one of them. Honestly, couldn't have done it without you. I just want to personally thank you again. You have set my family up for success. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate those comments, because, the people whose lives have changed and who have, truly positive experiences, they speak the least. And those who are disgruntled, depressed, dejected, disappointed, they speak the most. And so publicly, you tend to have this truly distorted picture of things. And this is why we can't really take a lot of things very seriously, especially if it comes from a negative angle on your social media out networks, because, that 17-1 ratio will always be there. You see, a person that is just disgusted, or a person who's just miserable, will spread that misery to 17 people. But the person who is truly blessed and changed or positively affected will spread their message to one person. And so you get this 17-to-1 lopsided ratio. And so you should never take negativity as serious as it seems because it's 17-to-1, unfairly so. So whenever someone does have the courage to step up and publicly say something positive, it's something that I deeply appreciate because I know how rare that is. So thank you, Huddle Jamaica. Thank you. Calvin says, OV is just spontaneous. Calvin's known me for a long time, man. Yes, right, Calvin, I am spontaneous. Calvin says, I just left another space he did live with his members. Yeah, I was just live with my guys. The difference between him and others is his experience and knowing his stuff. I appreciate that, Calvin. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Daniel Crowder says, multi-sig. Using Unchained Capital, is there any concerns with the company having issues and compromising the shared keys? I'm at the point where I need to add more security. No, because first of all, well, I will tell you this, Daniel. I am I guess you can say customer. I'm a client. I'm a user of Unchained Capital. Um, uh, you know, I've had nothing but an amazing experience with them. But I think there's this deep misunderstanding that a lot of people have about multi-sig. When you're using a collaborative multi-sig company like Unchained Capital, all they're doing is assisting you with setting up your vault. It's your vault. It's not their vault. It's your vault. They're assisting you in setting up a multi-sig vault that is yours. They have absolutely no control over that vault. They cannot move your funds, touch your funds, spend your funds. Even if, let's say, they were demanded to do so, they couldn't. It's not theirs. They're just assisting you with setting up your vault. Now, what they're also assisting you with is just holding one of your three keys. So remember, in a 2 of 3 multi-sig setup, it takes two of the three to move or unlock your Bitcoin. They only have one key as a backup, one of those three. You have two, so you have control of the funds. You don't, with one key, they can't do a single thing. They can't move your funds. They can't touch your funds. They have absolutely no control whatsoever. So it is impossible for them to compromise anything. Even if they wanted to compromise, which they won't, but even if they wanted to, even if they were demanded to, they couldn't. One key in a multi-sig setup has zero power. The only trade-off with a collaborative multi-sig setup, guys, is that you leak privacy to the person or the entity that you give that one key to, like an Unchained. They will be able to see what you have. They know what you have. That's the trade-off. But you have experienced that your whole life, haven't you? Your bank knows everything that you have, right? Your financial institutions know down to the penny everything that you have. So today, I just consider the safety of that backup, just in case I mess something up with one of the keys, I lose it or whatever. There's a backup. They have one of my keys as a backup. You understand? Another way of looking at the three multi-sig is that I can travel with one key anywhere in the world. Now, one key doesn't move anything, can't spend anything. But if I were to ever need the Bitcoin, with that one key, I could contact Unchained and we both can unlock wherever I am in the world. And so I am now safe traveling with one key because even if I lose that one key or damage that one key, nothing can be done. If that key were to be stolen, nothing could be done. So traveling with one key, holding one key, and having Unchained there as the second key just in case I need the Bitcoin while I'm traveling Europe, and I'll be traveling Europe very shortly. If I need my Bitcoin, I've got my one key, I contact Unchained, boom, unlock. But that one key is safe with me. I don't have to worry about carrying my wealth with me because that one key doesn't do anything. So I just believe that multi-sig, while it does have trade-offs, I know that there are some Bitcoin maxis that don't like multi-sig. I think that most people who are out here shouting against multi-sig, they're just poorer Bitcoiners. And there's nothing wrong with being a poorer Bitcoiner. A Bitcoiner is a Bitcoiner, but there are different levels. Like, no one with serious wealth is going to look at that setup as a drawback. No one. If you've got a few Bitcoin, okay, fine. You don't need multi-sig. But if you've got $20 million, $40 million of Bitcoin, dude, if you don't have multi-sig, you're an idiot. That's the way I look at it. All right. Hope I've answered your question, Daniel. Stutter says, investing 20,000 into Bitcoin, is that a good amount? Will it make any difference? 20,000? Oh my goodness. Well, let's put it this way, Stutter. If you had put $1 into Bitcoin in 2010, $1, do you know how much it is today? It's approaching $60 million. Oh, yes. You don't believe me? Just look that up. I'm not making that up. $1 is approaching 60. It's north of 50 million, approaching $60 million today. Now, you might be tempted to say, well, Oliver, that's then, those days are over. I don't believe that. I think Bitcoin's better days are ahead of us, not behind us, people. You can't tell me that at today's adoption rate, that we're finished with that, that the better days are behind us. How can the better days be behind something that half of 1% of the world has adopted? Think about this, people. Come on, you're not idiots. Well, some of you might be, but most of you are not idiots, right? Half of 1% of the world has adopted Bitcoin. Not 1%, half of 1%. And you're telling me, oh, the best days are over, Oliver, at half of 1%. That's not how adoption works. The best years are in the middle of the total historical adoption phase. Just look at anything that's been adopted. The best years are in the middle, not the first half of 1%. So I'm telling you, in my opinion, Strutter, Bitcoin is going to put the past, it's going to make the past look like child's play. 20,000 is generational wealth in the future. You just can't let it go. You just can't let it go. My God, that's huge. All right. Ryan says, thanks, OV. I'm one of your BTC club members. Welcome, Ryan. Thank you for being here. I'm still in BTC and profitable thanks to you. Awesome. I'm glad you've held through the 2020 period. I hope you've accumulated more as I was pounding the table on, especially down there at 16, guys. I was the biggest accumulator of Bitcoin, 15 and chain, 15. My lowest price on this last drop was 15.8. If you've followed my work for any period of time, you know that I accumulate Bitcoin on two numbers, 8 and 3. So I accumulate on the 8s and the 3s. So for instance, I accumulate 16,003, 15,008, right? So those are two numbers. I don't want to go, it's not this place for me to go into why those are the numbers. But when I tell you that in March of 2020, 2020, when I was buying into that collapse, my lowest price was 3,008. There's that number again, 3,800. That's because I teach my traders to accumulate on those numbers. So when I started diving into Bitcoin in March 2020, my traders knew we were accumulating at 5,800, 5,300, 4,800, 4,300, 3,800. We had bids at 3,300. Those never got hit. So the lowest price we got was 3,008. And the lowest price I got on the following drop was 15,008. Right. So there's a very cool reason why I picked those numbers. That's for my private members. I'm not going to go into that now, but at least you know that when you see those numbers hit, Oliver's buying. All right, guys. Awesome. Awesome. First June Bitcoin, first Juan Bitcoin, sorry. First Juan Bitcoin is saying, Oliver, this can be a question for our master club. All right, let's see. I'm finding it difficult to find a way to store Bitcoin between two friends, business partners, where we both need to sign to approve each transaction, but without risking to lose the BTC if something happens to one of us. Well, that's very simple. That's what I just explained. That can be a 2 of 3 multi-sig scenario, right? Or a 3 of 5, but I would suggest that all you need, I can answer this here, all you need is a 2 of 3. So here's how this would work. Here's how I would set this up in a business scenario. One of the keys is held by the company's attorney. All right. And so your attorney or your legal holds one of the keys. There are strict instructions that your attorney has in terms of that both partners sign off on, that the attorney can only use the keys under these certain scenarios with another member. So for instance, here's how it works. You have a key, your partner has a key, your lawyer has a key. All right. Now, you and your partner control the funds. The lawyer doesn't control the funds. The lawyer is like Unchained. They only have one key. You're going to leak privacy to your lawyer, but that's what lawyers are for, right? They're supposedly bound by attorney-client privilege, attorney-client privacy rights, right? So the attorney has one key, you have one, your partner has one, you and your partner control the funds, but no single partner can do anything without the other. Here's the thing, a single partner can do something with the attorney. And so this is why it's important for the partners to lay out under what circumstances the attorney has a right to collaborate with one of the partners. Okay? But that's how I would set it up. Now, many corporations have large multi-sig, so they might have 14 of 18. So 14 members of the board have to sign off. There's 18 members of the board, but it takes 14 to sign off. So, you know, the mega corporations might have even, you know, something that involved to make sure that it's always a super majority that agrees to move the Bitcoin or spend the Bitcoin for something. All right. But for two partners, 2 of 3, I believe, works perfectly fine. All right. Awesome. This is cool, man. I got a few more questions than I normally do. True is asking, with money solved, Where do you think we should focus our time and energy? Isn't that, you hear that question? So True's asking, with money solved, Oliver, where do you think we should focus our time and energy? Isn't that a beautiful, wonderful problem to have? Well, shoot, since I'm free now, since what I hold is guaranteed to increase and multiply and make me better, make me stronger, make me more powerful, make me wealthier, make me more independent every 4 years of my life until I die. Because I finally have a money that's going to make me more free every 4 years, mathematically proven every 4 years. And what do I do with my time? What do I do with my life? What a wonderful thing to do. What does a slave do once he's free? Now we can start to truly live life and to embark on the path that is the true purpose for every human being. You know what the true purpose of every human being is? To discover who you are. Who am I? That's your true purpose. Who am I? What do I like? What do I want to do? What areas of humanity do I want to contribute to? We're all members of a global society, and we all have a responsibility to give our own to share our own personal gifts with the society, with that global community. So what do you have, Drew, to share? What gives you joy that you can also share with another? That's the secret in life, is it not? To find what you do better than almost every other human being on earth. We all have that. We just don't have the time to search for it, to find, to explore. We have to give our time that should be dedicated to that to another man because the system is fucked up. But when it's not, you reclaim that natural birthright to discover who am I? What is it that I'm here to deliver to life as a whole? And we all have that. And that process of discovering that should be pleasant. It should be a joy to go search for that, to find that without a worry, without a concern about the future. Bitcoin delivers that. So seek out your desires, Drew. Go where your heart desires. Travel to find who you are. Experience different cultures, see different people, try different things if you haven't found it. I find that traveling unlocks something in your soul. And so if you don't know what you're going to give life, you don't know who you are yet, find a way to travel and you'll discover that. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I want to thank each and every one of you for attending. How many people do I have here, by the way? Love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I don't even know. Have these groups gotten bigger? Oh, yeah, a little bit bigger. Cool. 61. Yeah, it's about maybe 80, 90. I don't know. Thank you all, guys, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Remember, these things are recorded. You can always come back. Please share this message if you think someone can benefit from it. And there's more to come. You know what to do, guys. Go to work. Don't stop. Don't slow down. Stack, chill, stack harder, and chill. Love you guys to death. Ciao for now. Boom.